And I'm about to go in the store here, and I'm
I,
about to go get me some bleach.
K-Style, we live. We
I'm about to
live.
go. I'm about to go get me some bleach.
Some bleach. What we need
Yeah,
bleach for?
I need to drink it after that. After that,
After that
that was
game?
that was some undisciplined ass football I saw on both sides of the ball. Jesus Christ. Go
Uh,
ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
so, as you guys know, the Atlanta Falcons in pretty a rough, tough, disgusting game. It was everything that I thought it wouldn't be, but it's everything that I thought what it would be.
Worst
Defensively, I,
worst case scenarios.
eh, I, I mean, I'm really not as mad as upset as most people are. I'm really not. Most people are really upset because it was a lot riding on this game, but I saw a lot more positives than I did see negatives. Um, well, one, before I get into the stats, and let me get the stats real quick, because I think that's something before we get everybody takes that I want to read off. So okay, dokie, hold on one second, you guys. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so the Pittsburgh Steelers, gonna go off the Pittsburgh Steelers and their numbers. Justin Fields, 17 to 30, 23, 156, no touchdown, no interception, sacked 2 times. Najee Harris, they had 137 yards rushing, no touchdowns. George Pickens had a pretty good day, 6 of 85. But Pat Frymouth had 4 for 27. They really didn't have a good passing game. Um, 156 yards total. Look at the fumbles. Obviously, Fields fumbled. And then you look at Minka Fitzpatrick, all those guys really didn't have a lot of uh, big numbers. Um, they had pressure. They just pretty much pressured the Atlanta Falcons all freaking day. You look at the tackles for losses. It really didn't have a three, but like I think the pressures for the most part. If you look at Pittsburgh, the interceptions, 2 turnovers for them. Then you look at the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons just offensively. You look at Kirk Cousins, 16 to 26. Just a pretty bad game. One touchdown, one intercept, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. Bijan Robinson's 1868 yards. Tyler Algier 3 for 21 at 89 yards rushing. Ray McLeod was the high guy as far as the yards is concerned, 4 for 52. Bijan Robinson, 5 for 43. Kyle Pitts, 3 for 26. Darnell Mooney had a pass. Drake London, um, Charlie Warner, all those guys caught one. You look at the sacks for the Atlanta Falcons. Matthew Judon had a half a sack with Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett had a sack and a half, 2 tackles for losses. He was an absolute Grady Jarrett was a damn monster today, man. I love what I saw from him, but you know, I'm gonna say this, all right, and I'm gonna get uh K Styles uh take, and then we're gonna go to Dunn and Jude. Um, so this is a question I posed to you guys in the chat, and I thank everybody for joining us right now. What Okay, so what about this game that either frustrated you or you know, put them up? What is your take out of this game?
It's two things that was the biggest difference in this game for me: turnover margin and penalties at the wrong time. And this is why I said this was a very undisciplined football game. Um, I don't, I don't know what else I could say about that. Like you said, we had quite a few good plays that were called back on illegal shifts, you know, false starts and stuff that negated those plays. And like you said, -3 turnover margin. You can't excuse that. And like you said, this is what Pittsburgh did. They did just enough. They did just enough to where they didn't put Justin Fields in a situation where he had to win the game. They let
Hmm.
him manage the game, which was all that they needed, especially when you get turnovers. But like I said, TJ, like I said, the one thing that we said that they needed to do was run at TJ Watt. Not only did they run away from him, like I said, it was just undisciplined all the way around. Like you said, we can talk about some of the positives that we saw in there, but at the end of the day, penalties and turnovers is going to oversee all those. So as of right now, next week they got to be disciplined. We'll see another game like this. That's all I got to say on that.
Okay, Don, what you got, bro?
I remember. Can y'all hear me?
Talk, talk, talk.
All right. Yeah. Can y'all hear me? I just want to know if y'all can hear me. All right.
Again,
So, all right. So what I've been saying is on the show on the heavy hitter show on Wednesday, I said that if we allow Arthur Smith to control the clock, it's gonna be a long day for us. Defense, I like what I saw, but however, when you turn the ball over 3 times and then you got to get back on the field, especially the short field positions, you can only ask the defense to do so much. So I did not like what I saw as far as the offensive goal. We know what TJ, we knew what we was going up against TJ Watt. Instead of us trying to line up behind center, Kirk Cousins behind center, run the ball more on effective runs, and just put another tight end out, block a tight end by Caleb McGarry, because Caleb McGarry looked like a damn turnstile out there today against TJ. We didn't do none of those things. So Zach Robinson, he has to do a better job next week at adjusting as the game goes along. You cannot continue to do what you think is going to work because it didn't work. Like T.J. Watt was wreaking havoc. Our O line was, did not look good today. We had 2 costly fucking turnovers by Kirk Cousins. Like, it's you got to do better, man. We cannot win games like this.
So, I don't know what you went real quick, but let me just say this. I'm like I said, TJ Watt is going to do TJ Watt. I don't. My thing is, I'm not even down on Caleb McGarry. I really not. And that probably sounds crazy, but I'm really not. This is what TJ Watt does. We know he gets after the quarterback. Okay. I think everybody in the universe knows that's what he does well. He attacks the quarterback. He gets upfield quickly. But when it comes down to stopping the run, he's not nearly as dangerous. And I think that's the thing that I saw. And what Dunn was referring to is that you just kept running away from him. Like you want to tire him out. You want to tire him out. We didn't tire him out. We kept running away from him. What's the point of running away from TJ Watt? Let me look at these sacks when he came since he's been coming in the league. 7 as a rookie, 13, 14 and a half, 15, 22. He was hurt in 2022, so he only had 5.5, and then last year he had 19. So we know that this dude likes to get after the quarterback. We know that about him. But we allowed them to do exactly that by not running the ball effectively and not controlling. We didn't control the clock. And another thing for me that really frustrated me is the fact that I don't know what's going on with Drew Dalman, but he looked really bad. He was just all over the place for me. Um, but I gotta say this. This is not going, and I'm gonna just hit it. I'm gonna just hit it right on the head right now. Okay, I'm gonna hit it right on the head right now. I am paid. This is why I said this is exactly what I said from the very beginning. I do not believe in paying these quarterbacks $50 million, 40, $50 million. Is because we see now that it takes a team. We paying a guy $50 million, $40 million to play like that. What we saw, that shit was atrocious.
Yeah, we could have. In that
You
case, we
can't
could have
do
just.
that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. How the way we played today, we could have just better off just having Desmond Ritter back. Desmond Ritter could have gave us 10 points.
See, look, I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go
Nah,
that
we
far. No, I'm not going that far. Look, when I say what I'm talking about, Kirk Cousins, it's the turnovers I'm talking about. Okay, and we got to understand too. Like I said, I know we pissed off. Everybody pissed off because we want to win. Nobody wants to open up the season with a loss. Nobody wants that. It's just the turnovers. And Kirk Cousins hasn't played ball in over a year, people. Okay, he hasn't played ball in over a year. He didn't play a full game in over a year. So these things that we're going to see, the first 5 games of the season is going to be a test for Kirk. Because now, for one, I don't know if you guys heard, but these guys on the commentary, and I saw a stat even on Twitter where he said this is the first time that Kirk Cousins has lined up in the pistol formation. This is the first time. So we're really experimenting with him. So now what the Falcons have done, I don't know if they've done this, but they did this by design. But now you have made it so that people gonna start looking to the side and saying, Michael Pitts, you looking real yummy right now because I can have a rookie quarterback come in and do what you just did. So now they're gonna start looking to the sideline and say, Kurt, well, we need you to not make turnovers like that. He was forcing throws, and like I said, look, he hasn't gotten hit, he hasn't played. So I'm not saying that Kirk needs to be benched. I don't think we should even be talking about that because again, it's the first game. These guys are gonna be rusty. I saw Pittsburgh. I thought they was rusty. I thought looking at Justin Fields, Justin Fields is exactly what he's supposed to have been doing in Chicago, checking the ball down, running the offense the proper way. And like at the end of the day, I'm really surprised at two guys. I'm gonna say I'm really surprised at two guys. Where the hell was Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons? Where the hell were they? That's what I really want to know. I saw Jesse Bates one time. Him and AJ Terrell made a good. Those guys made a good. Those guys made a good play on the ball, but like I thought I thought the secondary was fairly weak. I like how the hell and coming out of the coming out of the halftime when I hear Raheem Morris say that it's a coaching fault when you know for a fact that George Pickens. I think the Falcon defensive. I thought their defensive staff got arrogant because of Jesse Bates and Jesse. Because I don't know how the hell you allow George Pickens to get open, not only going into the second half, but you let him get open. He had 1-on-1. It wasn't a safety it wasn't a safety in sight. So he had 1-on-1 with a couple of guys. So let me get this super chat real quick. God dang it. Hold on. All right, so what's up? Love the show, different year, same stuff. Um, Come on, phone. Damn. I'm trying to get you to turn the right way. Shit.
It says love the show, different year, same shit, no more excuses. This was terrible. The offense as a whole was garbage.
It was up. Look, the offense has bright spots, but when you play right into Pittsburgh hand. That's what I was most frustrated about. All they needed was one. There's not you can't score 10 points in high school and think that's gonna be enough to win. Okay? So I am not. TJ Watt does this shit to everybody. He's a pass rushing demon. Okay, so I'm not upset with Caleb McGarrett. I'm not upset with the Falcons offensive line because this is what TJ Watt does. He's been doing this ever since he got in the league. So TJ Watt is going to be TJ Watt. I'm not upset about that. It's like being upset about LeBron James or Michael Jordan or JJ Watt or whoever the hell it is. These guys are going to put up numbers. But what I saw from this team, it was just as Jew come in get his take. Um, it was just too many turnovers, and as you always talk, and Jew, let me get your take on this. As you always say, you can't turn the ball over. I'm so impressed with this Falcon team. I think this Falcon team is going to be hell all year long. I saw some great. We didn't see Mike Hughes play bad at all, and that was a huge question mark as far as him is concerned. I think the linebackers, Troy Anderson was all over the damn field. I look, they might have to do something with Caden Williams because what I saw with Troy Anderson, I thought he played well. But Jude, let me get your thoughts on the taking. I don't know what's his name, Xavier Willis. I appreciate it. But like I said, man, everybody got a right to be upset about what we saw today.
Look, you just hop back off.
Oh,
But
good God.
But
Go ahead.
but kind of like when you read the stats,
that was one thing that was kind of alarming in this game was Tyler Algier only had 3 carries. Now, like you said, this was a fit that, like you said, it was physical at the line of
Mm-hmm.
scrimmage,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one of my cons of the offensive output today was that we didn't see enough Tyler Algier. Not saying that he had to carry the rock 15 times, but like you said, he was getting them at 7 yards a clip.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of did themselves a disservice of trying to hold him to 3, and that kind of goes back to the stat that we've seen the last couple of years when Tyler Algier gets less than 10 carries. His, his offense doesn't look too hot,
Mm-hmm.
and I think like you say, his physicality is what they definitely needed in order to offset trying to be finesse. Because this was
Mm-hmm.
what we saw was a finesse output.
Yeah, it was. And
And,
again,
and Pittsburgh came to be physical.
mm-hmm. Pittsburgh came to be physical. They came to play Pittsburgh football. I thought the Atlanta Falcons was still searching for an identity. Offensively, I thought they were because that's the one thing when I look at Raheem Morris, it's like, what is this offense going to look like? And I still think, for the most part, as we get another super chat here, uh, Emerald Knight, thank you for the $10. This is a what if, but if the Falcons go 0-3, Cousins plays the way he does in those games, do the Falcons have to start Michael Penix Jr.? Thank you, love you guys. Love the show. K-Style, you want to get that one?
Which
Done,
one?
one of them.
Which one? Uh,
The do the Falcons if the Falcons start 0-3, do the Atlanta Falcons start Kirk Michael Penix over Kirk Cousins?
if if that's the case, they put themselves in a position where that cannot happen,
Mm-hmm.
just for the simple fact that you did pay a lot of money for Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So so we've seen stranger things, but like I said, I'm not gonna look too far ahead of that. Like you said, it's just a what if.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see that happening because, like I said, you done already paid too much. Like you don't want $180 million backup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Not even that, dude. Too, like you, and I agree with you on that. Also, you don't want to put your rookie in a situation that he has to do too much, because if you 0-3 and you say, all right, man, we need you to come in and win some games, and like that week 4 game, and do y'all understand who the hell we play week 4? Like I would not start Michael Penix Jr. against the Saints. I just wouldn't. I won't put that. I won't put that on anybody. Football is more than just going out there just making plays. It's also a mental thing, man. Football is more mental than physical.
Let me ask you something before we get back to Juju. Juju, you there?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So let me say this. Let me say this. Just forgive me real quick. But what the fuck? What in the fuck did Justin Fields do to win this game? Because we clearly saw that the Falcons got out physical offensively, and I think this is something that we got to think. I mean, we already know this is going to be the case. Playing a team like Pittsburgh week 1 is hellacious. Okay, that's something that you just don't. You would rather play any other team because that they're known for their physicality and they known for getting at the quarterback and they known for having tough and playing tough. So right off the gate, especially if you're not going to play your starters, like the Falcons starters did not play in the preseason at all. Okay, so my question is, Drew, after you get to your so what I thought, me personally, I thought Justin Fields he did exactly what he should be doing, and for the rest of his career right now, he focused on checking the ball down. There was a couple of plays, to me, to be honest, that was a bit sketchy when it come down to the pass that he was throwing. But he did exactly what he was supposed to. It wasn't an over. He had maybe 200 yards total. That's not very good. But he did exactly that. When you got a defensive team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, it's like you don't need Justin Fields or any other quarterback to be, super special. So, Drew, what's your take on this game?
All right, guys. So, can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I'm sorry, man. My internet don't want to let me be great, man. But I didn't hear everything you guys said. But the first thing that I noticed in the game, and I told my wife this as I was just viewing the game, because you guys know I analyze the game like as a coach when I'm watching the game. To me, we didn't take enough deep shots down the field. To me, early on, I was excited that they started off running the football because I talked about you got to meet force with force. And Pittsburgh is one of those teams that's tough in the trenches. I knew that they would try to shorten the game, which they did, and they pretty much controlled the trenches on both sides of the ball. But I wanted to see a little bit more deep shots with like guys like Darnell Mooney to kind of spread them out a little bit more. I really feel like in this game they were sitting on a lot of the routes. And to me, it was too many quick, short. We stayed in the pistol the whole game. You heard Greg Olsen that was calling the game talking about, us being in that pistol. And because Kirk Cousins wasn't under center, he's like, you can't really run the play action pass. And that's what Kirk Cousins is great at doing, is setting up the run and then setting up that play action pass. And I was disappointed because I wanted to see more deep shots down the field. If you've seen what Pittsburgh did with guys like George Pickens, who I talked about heading into this game, and going up against AJ Terrell on our corners, is the strength of a Drake London is similar to a George Pickens as far as he wins those 50-50 balls down the field because of his ability to track the football. You've seen a couple times in the game where the first deep ball down the field, AJ Terrell didn't even realize the ball was coming right over his shoulder. He didn't even locate the football. So I really feel like in this game, one of the things that I was like concerned or disappointed in is I thought that we would throw the ball down the field a little bit more. Now, I do understand that TJ Watt was kind of having his way and pinning his ears back, and their defensive line was pinning their ears back. So you have to be careful at trying to take those deep shots because we know when we had guys like Matt Ryan, when our offensive line was struggling, it takes time for those kind of routes to develop down the field. But I really feel like early on in the game, before TJ Watt, start licking his chops, I really feel like on first down, we should have took a couple deep shots. The reason I say that you take deep shots down the field is to back those safeties up so they can't be as aggressive. And then another thing is most of the time, corners are corners for a reason. they don't track the ball as well as a Kyle Pitts. They don't track the ball as well as a Drake London or those wide receivers. So I wanted to see a little bit more deep shots just to back.
Oh, it kind of went out. I think you went out again. Thank you went out again, yo. There we
The other
go.
thing that I'll say is the turnovers. I talked about this going into the game. If you turn the ball over, you're going to lose the game. And I believe
Mhm.
Pittsburgh didn't have any turnovers, if I'm not
They
mistaken.
had one. They had one to make the fumble.
Okay, the fumble. Okay. But outside of that, like they won the turnover battle. We had the 2 interceptions. We had the fumble that was lost with the guy, coming across the field on the jet sweep motion and the ball hit him and Watt recovered it. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, all in all, I'm not really disappointed because, as you mentioned, we didn't play in the preseason. And I said that in my live show,
Yes, you
what's
did.
the word on Tuesday? It's like one of the concerns I had was it takes time to find that rhythm. And I really feel like our offense never really found the rhythm, especially in the passing game. And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
say I wanted to see some more deep shots because when you take deep shots, you might not catch the ball, but 9 times out of 10, a corner is going to hold. You're going to get penalties that's going to put you in, scoring position because guys can't match up with Drake London that size. They automatically panic. And the corners of the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me, is their Achilles heel. Their strength is that
Mm-hmm.
front 7. And
Yeah.
Minka's the only guy in that secondary that I'm concerned with. Their corners, we never really attacked them, and we allowed them to kind of play downhill all game long. So we were kind of playing on our heels all game. And I felt like I like the emphasis of getting Bijan Robinson the ball, but I felt like it was kind of predictable as far as we kept giving him the ball, And it's like, spread it out, throw the ball down the field, create more space, open it up a little bit. I understand y'all trying to feed Bijan. That's fine. But I just feel like we should have took a little bit more deep shots to kind of spread them out a little bit more. But outside of that, the defense played. I thought that Judon's sack towards the end of the game was going to be the difference because I was stop. Landman jumps over the pile, gets the stop. Judon with a big sack. I thought that was going to be the turning point in the game and that we was going to drive down at the end of the game and score. But Kirk Cousins threw the last interception trying to throw it, and he was under pressure. But as you mentioned, TJ Watt is that guy. Like I said, he can wreck this football game for us. So at the end of the day, no complaints really here other than I want to see us throw the ball a little bit down the field against Philly next week to spread them out. I don't want teams to be able to this is what happened last year. They crowded the box. We didn't have enough routes going down the field where teams were just sitting on those little short routes. And that's why Kirk Cousins threw those picks because those guys were not backing up. Those safeties kept creeping up all game long.
Mm-hmm. So Mike Harvey appreciated. He said 2-16, 2-16-1 versus the Steelers underdogs next week in Philly, and we got the Chiefs on, so we could be on 3. Dre Murphy also said, "Do you think we should give Stone?" Absolutely not. Look, this is TJ Watt, y'all. Okay, this is the Michael Jordan of outside edge rush. He's the best guy in the game when we talk about rushing the passer. It's not many guys in the league that's better than him. So, look, let me say this. This is what he does. He does this to everybody. He makes everybody look bad. Okay?
He's
So,
all world.
yeah, this is what he does. Ever since he got in the league, he been getting 7 sacks. The least sacks he's had in a year, and that was in the injured year, and he had 5.5 sacks. We couldn't even get 5 sacks from anybody last year. This guy does that in the see. This is what he does. So I'm not upset with Caleb Garrett. Not upset with the offensive line. This is what the Pittsburgh Steelers do. This is their game. This is why we had to run the ball. This is why we got to try to out physical and win the turnover battle. See, they're not going to allow Justin Fields to take deep shots and things of that nature. They're not going to allow him because guess what? They know they got a defense. They got Highsmith. They got all those guys up front. So this is Pittsburgh Steelers ball. So I'm not upset with what the Atlanta Falcons. Like I said, man, we got to get it. But we're talking about the Falcons offense. After we find, then it's time to panic. Then you start talking about Michael Penix and whether or not he just starting on this type of so like I know it's frustrating. One thing that too, we were actually talking about, and I saw this. It's just it's a every year it's the same thing. Every year with these fans, y'all allow other people to come into our home and out cheer y'all. It's disgusting. I don't know how you can call yourself a fucking Falcon fan and then talking about I'm a season ticket holder. And this is the year that everything was sold out before the game even started. It was sold out. So why in the hell are you guys buying the freaking tickets? Okay, this is the first time we've sold out this fucking fast, and all I heard was Pittsburgh Steelers game when it was when we had a lead 10-9. All I heard was fucking Pittsburgh Steelers fans cheering. Let's keep that real. This is why this is one of the reasons why Pittsburgh always look. They know when they go to anybody home, they gonna have fans. And then Atlanta Falcons fans, we look make all these fucking excuses about we all need to give us something to cheer about, huh? Pittsburgh Steelers 8-8 for like 10 years in a row. They don't go to the playoffs every year, but they fans still loyal to them. So this is my thing. That was my thing. So like I said, man, I'm not upset, and I'm not K Styles. Like I said, I'm not. We gotta get better. We're going to get better. And this team, it's incredibly frustrating. To be honest, man, like I said, give credit to the Pittsburgh Steelers from the quarterback to the punter, and I want to give a special condolences to them, man. That man, oof, that was nasty. So I hope he. And it is bad. It was pretty bad. That punter getting rolled up on like that. But like I said, man, we gotta find a way to out physical the physical teams because if we can't match that offensively, it's gonna be a problem. Got to be able to
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, my thing is at the end of the day, you can't win football games with negative plays,
match.
penalties, turnovers. That's pretty much, like you said, that's pretty much what's the story of the game. Like I
Hmm.
said, I'm gonna say it again. A lot of the penalties that we did have on offense came on plays where we were getting first downs and getting 15 plus yard chunk plays.
Yep, on big plays, especially that big run after Bijan. Bijan had a couple of big runs and they got called back.
Right, right. So you already putting yourself behind the eight ball on that. Now you're forcing players to try to do too damn much.
Hmm.
You asked a question about Bates and Simmons. That's kind of what I saw too. I kind of saw them trying to do too much
Hmm.
and trying to overcompensate, especially like you said, especially on that one pass to George Pickens before halftime where they got the field goal.
Yeah, that was astounding. That right there, I'm just like, what do you think? And
Right,
Raheem come out and say it's a coaching error, but it's like, bro, you can't do that. This is George Pickens, bro. Do it.
right. But like you said, this was this like I said, this game The Pittsburgh Steelers won being more disciplined.
Yeah.
Falcons lost by being undisciplined.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fact.
like you said, you're going to be going to week 2 against Philadelphia and going to Philadelphia. Like you said, they're going to take their heads out their asses, and they going to have to be more disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we coming into another game like this where you're getting negative plays like holding calls and false starts and illegal formations, and like you said, it's going to be a long day.
I completely
Um,
agree with you, Kay. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, and another thing we have to remember, and this is not an excuse, it's just the facts, is that Zach Robinson's a first time play caller. So I'm looking at how is he going to adjust going into next week. That's what it's all about. It's about making adjustments. Football is a game of adjustments. So now that we put that out on film, Philly's watching this, but how are we going to adjust? Because I think too, I was a little bit bothered because once TJ Watt started going, I was like, just chip him. Keep a tight end in and just chip the man. If you only got to send 2 guys out for a route on certain plays, just chip them. Put a tight end right there and double team them. Because as you mentioned, we talking about McGarry like he's chopped liver. He's not chopped liver. It's just TJ Watt is just that good. That's the reason why I said don't let him wreck the game because he's a one-man wrecking crew. Outside of Myles Garrett in Cleveland, he's arguably the best. That's 1A and 1B as far.
Ghost Pepper here said the logic to protect Cousins from squatting under center with the injury wouldn't be much of a problem, but a pistol set is more of a
Good
running
news is
quarterback, and Kurt ain't a running quarterback.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Drew. You went out. I don't know if you still there.
yeah, I'm still here. I don't know if y'all can hear me though. My internet is acting up, man.
Go. What was you saying, G?
No, I basically said we're gonna have to see if we can make the proper adjustments and that TJ Watt, outside of TJ Watt and Myles Garrett, those guys are the 2 best pass rushers in the league. So I feel like we should have started chipping a little bit early on Watt. Once we seen he started to get going, just leave a guy in to chip him at all times. Don't let him be the guy that's gonna get after us. But I'm not freaking out. Like I keep saying, I seen in the chat they said like 0-3. I'm not even gonna, don't even count our egg, as they say, count your eggs before they hatch because Philly doesn't have a TJ Watt on their team. They don't have a TJ Watt. So we're good. The Chiefs, they're good, but they don't have a TJ Watt on their team. So these games we've seen, even this game, even as bad as we played, it came down to the last drive. We could have won the game. The defense held up. It was 15-10. And we had the ball driving down the field before Kirk threw the pick. So we good. It was a 1-possession game. We good, people.
Yep. Like you said, it just gonna come down to it's just like you said, you just gonna have to be more disciplined, man.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, and we're going up to Philly next week. I gotta see Tyler Algier get more than 3 carries.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I gotta see him getting more than 3 touches.
We got to control the clock.
Like I said, the idea of getting Bijan Robinson the ball majority of the time, it sounds good, but when you're going against physical teams like that, you need that shovel head running back Tyler Algier to be a part of it. That's a tone setter. And the one thing we know about tone setters don't necessarily have to get the ball 20 times a game, but the more that Tyler Algier gets the ball, the better that it benefits Bijan Robinson.
I agree completely.
It is just as simple as that. Like you said, if you're seeing the opposing team, like I said, you saw Pittsburgh wanting to be more physical at the line of scrimmage. You bring in a guy that's going to be physical with them. Like I said, Tyler Algier, like I said, once again, Tyler Algier averaged 7 yards a carry. Bijan averaged 3.2. Tyler needs the damn ball. Like I said, Tyler doesn't have to carry the ball 20 times. but you want to get him the ball enough to where you bring a level of uncertainty. Because even and I'm gonna point out this one play. It was the fourth down conversion on the jet sweep that they gave the ball to Bijan Robinson. These defenders are looking for Bijan Robinson. They're looking for him.
It's for me. It's I still think at this point in time, a lot of that has to do with the Falcons are still trying to figure out where Kirk is. So when you playing in that pistol, man, there's only so many things you can do from that pistol. Um, and I think too, like I said, Curry's very good with the play action, and a lot of times he just wasn't. Yeah, he just wasn't running any play action. He was barely moving, and you can just tell that he hasn't been hit in quite some time. I think until Curry comes back, um, gets confident, taking hits and whatnot.
Hmm.
Like I said, he was just standing on the spot. That's something that Greg Olson and those guys kind of turned. They kind of brought that to that he was just standing there. He wasn't really moving. Now, as the game went over, he got a little bit more confident. But I think the next game against Philly is where we're going to see if he's sore, how if he's going to how soreness. That's another thing to keep an eye on as the goes along. But this is Pittsburgh. These are the types of games that they. This is their style. They force everybody that play their style of football. This is what they've all done. So the only thing I'm really disappointed with the Atlanta Falcons is the offensive line. Really disappointed on how they and a lot of that is due to the fact that you got a TJ Watt, but man, I think another thing to focus on is these guys haven't played in the preseason at all. This is their first action. This is the first action for these guys. They, as the team, as the time goes on, we'll be fine, man.
Yeah. Like you said, man. Hey, I'm not in panic mode about it. And I think any common sense Falcon fan know they shouldn't be in panic right now because at the end of the day, like you said, you still got 16 more games to go in this season. But like you said, you definitely want to see this team be more disciplined.
Hmm.
That was the theme of this game was physicality and discipline.
Hmm.
I'm gonna keep on saying it all week. So if you don't want to hear me saying it, that's not my problem. That's gonna be your problem. Physicality and defense. You can still have a passing game while being physical enough to keep it balanced.
Hmm.
This is
So,
what this is what Mike was saying about running at TJ Watt. The thing we know about TJ Watt is if you run at him, that's not his game.
hmm
He's out of his game when you run at him. When you run away from him, he's in his element. And like I said, you have to be north and south. This is a north and south game. That's why Najee Harris almost averaged 6 yards a carry. It was
hmm
a north and south game here.
Exactly. You hit all of the points, Kay. You and Mike hitting all of the points. Like at the end of the day, guys coming into this game, I talked about Pittsburgh Steelers offense of line being banged up. But the way that they litigated that was they ran north and south. Like you said, they just ran at us. They didn't allow our defense really to get them on their heels. So that was kind of like the difference in the game because you couldn't really even tell that they had a lot of backups out there because they ran the ball, they shortened the game. Like I said, it looked a lot similar to the game plans that Arthur Smith ran when he was here with the Falcons. Like it looked like when he had Marcus Mariota running the offense. And that's why I made the video talking about Justin Fields is like he would fit perfect in what Arthur Smith likes to do. He likes a quarterback that's mobile, that can run around and use his legs as well as use him in the running game and things of that nature. We've seen on certain plays. I told my wife, I was sitting there watching the game. Okay, here comes a quarterback draw. It was like 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2. They spread out and Justin Fields took off running. And I think we had like 3 defensive linemen in the box at the time. And you heard Greg Olsen like it's basically just a numbers game. He's counting how many people are in the box, and then he's gonna make a decision whether to take off running or throw it short. That's pretty much what they did all games. So like you said, it wasn't no elaborate game plan. Like you said, Kay, it was really about discipline, and they didn't turn the ball over. We did. That was the difference in the game. Really wasn't like that they blew us out. It was just they were the more disciplined team. We talked about this on the Heavy Hitter show. I said, don't turn the ball over. You turn the ball over, you put them on the short field, you give them more cracks at, add scoring points. And that's what happens in this game. The defense held up and they was like bend, don't break. They didn't give up any touchdowns. But at the end of the day, the turnovers are what did it to us. That was the backbreaker. But that's why I'm not stressing over this because it's like, if you, like you said, if we be disciplined, we don't turn the ball over. This is a different game. You don't put them in scoring position multiple times. They get that pick at the end of the game. He returns it down to like R20 or something like that. So they're already in field goal range. We had, some of the positives. You've seen the defense stand up when they needed to. Like I said, the 4th and 1 stop, the Judon sack late in the game. That the defense gave us ample opportunities. I put this on the offense just didn't capitalize. Every time the defense made a play, they took 2 steps forward, we took 3 steps back on offense. So at the end of the day, it's like this is not time to panic. Like you guys said, we didn't play preseason. We have a whole new coaching staff. We have a new quarterback. These guys are adjusting. We're going to see what this team does moving forward. I'm not stressing this just game 1. And we only lost by 15-10. Like you lose by or 18. We only lose by like a touchdown. 18-10. You're right there. You're in scoring range if you don't turn the football over. You play discipline. Because I really thought what was going to swing the game, to be honest with you guys, is at the end of the game when we had to roughen the punter. I thought that was going to be like them getting a first down in that situation, even though they called a holding on that play. Usually we know with us not being disciplined in the past, those would be the type of plays that would swing the game in the other direction. The good news, they called the holding in that situation. Because I was like, we just made a big stop, and on 4th down, you're trying to block a punt, and you get a roughing the kicker or roughing the punter in that situation.
That would have been devastating right there.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this real quick if y'all don't mind. And this one thing I know is true, and this is my expertise. You make your money as a coach by going what works when you have the ball the last drive and you can go down the field and make something happen. And what I mean by that is like we knew Tyler Algier when he had the ball, it worked. We knew that having the plays that Kirk Cousins was up under center, those passes worked. Like we got the ball back on the last drive that we had the ball. So instead of us going with work, we literally went against the grain on things that did not work the entire game, and that led to Kirk Cousins throwing the pick that pretty much sealed our fate for this game. As an offensive coordinator for Zach Robinson, and please believe me, I'm not giving Kirk Cousins a pass at all. Like he has to do a better job and not turn the damn ball over. But when you the coach, you put in your players in that situation, you got to do a better job at going with works.
It's not a time to be making an ego. Like, we don't know who you are, Zach Robinson. Nobody knows who we know as content creators. We know who you are, but the league doesn't understand who you are. And you want to make your money in this league, you got to do a better job at calling the plays, man.
We
Go
say
ahead.
it's not a coaching problem until we continuously do the same things over and over again to get to make us lose. So I'm not gonna put this because the game is about adjustment. You always say the game is all about adjustment. So I'm not frustrated. I'm not upset about it. Because again, the Falcons pushing Kirk Cousins to do things that he's not comfortable right now. Was that the time to do that? Probably not. But we know for a fact like he likes to he's in a new offense, and it's something that even Greg Olson pointed out. It's like he's in a new offense. We're not getting the same we're getting we're well, I mean the new offense. I'm talking about the people around him, the plays that the offensive coordinator like to. He got to find all the plays that Kirk Cousins like to run. So it's going to take time. That's why I say give us about 5 games or so. We'll figure out where this team is, or if it's bad coaching. Have we really turned? Do we need to? Because next game he could do exactly what K Style was saying about handing the ball off to Tyler Algier a little bit more to kind of get the offense running. We don't know what Zach Robinson is at this point. We don't know what the Falcons are. We're basing everything on the past, so we got
And
to
I'm
give
not.
it.
And I wasn't. But I wasn't crucifying. I wasn't giving a pass, but I also wasn't crucifying Zach Robinson. And what I just said, like, is like the main thing is we don't know who he is, but it's all about reps that we did not get a preseason. We're getting now, and you're seeing it. We going off what works and what doesn't work. But you had enough time within this game to know what worked. But again, like, it's his first time calling plays, so it is what it is. This is what happened.
Be honest, when you got a TJ Watt breathing down your neck, you ain't got time. Be sitting up here trying to figure out what worked. We just saw a couple of plays work. To be honest, we just saw Tyler Algier. He ran the ball a couple of times, and quite frankly, it was you saw um, Ray McClellan think we saw the best of this offense. I really don't think we saw anything out of this offense. That I mean, you can build on a few things, but at this time, just give it. We don't know. We're fine. We got to stop just like trying to destroy everything after a game. T the Pittsburgh Steelers got the best of our offensive line. They got the best of our team, and that's what turned the corner. So it's just like I said. It's, at the end of the day, it's just simple as that. They got to do better. If Kirk Cousins continue to play like absolute shit, then we know we got robbed. Okay, but as of now, give these guys time to make the adjustments because Jew, why did Arthur Smith get fired?
Because he was hard headed. He kept doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Doing the
So
same thing week in and week out. And that's why I said we got to give it time. Like you said, be patient. It's going to be all right. We got to
That
see
was
if they
it's the
make the proper adjustments. And
Yeah, that's why I
I
said it's
don't,
the first game. So, like, we're gonna see down the stretch if we see Zach Robinson and Kirk Cousins and them can make the adjustments on the fly. But right now, it's week one. So, like I said, I'm not tripping off of it. I'm not saying that we holding people accountable. But what we're not doing is we're not crucifying motherfuckers because it's week one. We know what happened during preseason. Nobody got snaps in preseason like that, other than Michael Penix Jr. and then some guys on the line. That's about it. But it was pretty with no rehearsal today.
exactly. It's all rhythm. As I say, offense is a rhythm type deal. A couple times Kirk Cousin panicked. I told my wife he hasn't been hit in a while. A couple times in the pocket, you seen he got frantic and he panicked. That first pick he almost threw, where he literally threw the ball directly to the defender, he was panicking. He was freaked out. And I'd be freaked out if TJ Watt was chasing me around too, and I just ruptured my Achilles. So it was just a couple plays where it's just like he didn't have. I'm being honest, he just didn't have it. He just didn't have it. He was freaking out in the pocket a couple times. He just got a little antsy. His footwork wasn't there. A couple times he got hit while he was throwing the ball. So that just comes with timing. Now he didn't got hit, he didn't got his bell rung. As my dad like to say, once you get your bell rung one good time, you be good. You survive the hit, you be like, okay, let's play. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see if he bounced back. If he don't, trust me, they'll put Penix in there if they think that if they think he's not fully ready to go, they'll take him out of there. But I say it's way too early to start making any assessments. Today was just a small sample size of the first time, like I said, new play caller, new head coach, Jimmy Lake calling the defense. We've seen. Now I want to see how they're going to adjust. If I see the same thing next week, no deep passes down the field, then I'm gonna let them have it, because now we doing the same thing we just seen last week. Then we can start kind of criticizing. Because to me, I didn't see enough deep passes down the field to stretch the defense, make them think that you're gonna throw it long. You just want to get their mind on it. You ain't even got to hit the pass. Just throw it deep so they know if you try me, we gonna hit you deep with the guys that we got. So we got guys with speed. We got Ray who can go deep. You got Mooney that can go deep. You got Drake London that can high point the ball. So next week, I want to see more shots down the field.
So let me say, as far as
Hey,
Pittsburgh Steelers defense, I don't think anybody in here estimated the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why I said, again, my statement was, if you run at TJ Watt, I'm not afraid of him. If you pass, that's when you got to worry about him. He's not as good as a defender when you're running the ball, when the game is catered more to the running game, liability, and that's why he ended up dropping. Team wasn't very good at stopping the run, but when you play his game,
like you
but
say, like you said, at the end of the day, what I think about this game is, like you said, Kirk Cousins is a veteran. Every veteran quarterback that we have seen have had games like this.
this right here too, that comment right there. Ernest, it
Yeah,
was
about well, go ahead, read the comment.
going deep wasn't going to work. Kirk didn't have time, and that's like, and I think Jew is referring more so towards in the beginning of the game when he started getting hot, you wasn't going good. He started feeling it one that like early game. I think they should have a bit more. I didn't see any deep. Like, it's we fine, bro. Like, relax.
Yeah, that why I said ain't no panic over here.
Oh, we good, man.
Ain't no panic over here. Like I said, unfortunately, they lost the first game that we was hoping that they was gonna win.
Hmm.
But the thing is, like you said, Kirk Cousins is a veteran. Like you said, you got Raheem Morris, who's definitely a guy here who's going for a second step. They just know that, like you said, you just cannot be out here making mistakes. That's why I said I'll put the emphasis on self-inflicted wounds. That's all this game was self-inflicted wounds.
Hmm. A lot of bad penalties. A lot of bad penalties at the wrong time. Like, the secondary played much better than I expected them to be honest. So with that being said, y'all want to kind of give it. We're gonna go live. Coach is gonna go live if you guys don't have any more takes as far as the game is concerned. I think the Chargers. I think the Chargers are playing. Is it the Chargers? No, Dallas Cowboys in Cleveland right now. They're on. Dallas is up 7-3. Um, so outside of that, um, like I said, man, we appreciate everybody for joining us. This has been the Heavy Hitters, Six Man K Styles, Jew Talk Sports, the Done. Y'all got any last takes?
Man, I'm just, when you look at the game, and we're gonna go back to tell the truth Monday tomorrow. You just always keep in mind that you got to look at big picture. big picture means everything when you're trying to break down how you lost.
Oh, thanks.
You know, and that's all I care about.
Man. Go ahead, six. Go ahead, six man.
Week 2, more discipline.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all I gotta really say on it. Discipline, not discipline. Discipline.
Yep, that's pretty much it for me, man. All I gotta say is just make the adjustments. I just want to see this team make the right adjustments. It's week 1. Like I said, y'all might as well say this was our first official preseason game. Like the first half, they just trying to find their footing. So I want to see how we bounce back. Like Kay said, I want to see if we're gonna be more disciplined, if we're gonna make the proper adjustments to get, make the proper adjustments. That's all I gotta say. Just make the adjustments. We'll see next week. Like I said, then I'll have a proper critique. I can't start really critiquing the team on the first week because everybody know the first week nobody really knows anything. Even when you play in the preseason, you don't really know anything because teams keep it vanilla.
All right,
So
thanks.
even though Pittsburgh played their starters, they weren't running the same plays they ran today. They weren't even starting Justin Fields. So at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I wanted our guys to play in the preseason, but for most of the teams that in week 1, you don't know what to expect because every team is new. They turned over the roster. So, like I said, I want to just see the adjustments. But until I see the adjustments, I can't really critique the team outside of just the minute things that y'all already talked about. So, with that being said, like I said, man, I really still got a lot of high hopes, faith in this team because we didn't play our best football. To me, when I'm concerned, when I watch our team play and just watch any team play, it's like when you play your best that you could have played and you still lose. In this situation, we didn't play nowhere up to the level. Like I feel like the ceiling is still high. We didn't play our best and we still were right there in the game. So we hitting on all cylinders, I think that it'll look a lot better because we didn't even score 20 points today. And I said in my first show last week, I said that we were going to score like 24 points. So we didn't even get, double figures, 10 points. That's like, yeah, we didn't even play up to our capability. So just be patient, no panic. Adjustments. Let's see those adjustments.
And all I gotta say, man, is for this comment here, it's like as far as Raheem is concerned, it's like I'm look, like Raheem, he's a defensive guy. I got what I wanted. I know we can put together some offense. Like we've done that all out. Like for the most part, we've always done that. So offensively, the Falcons are good. Like we know we can build a team that can run the ball. We know that we can build a team that can pass the ball for the most part. But like, Raheem is giving everybody we want. Look, we didn't give up 20 points. And we're up here talking about fire this guy and get rid of this guy. It's like Raheem, these guys will be fine. All right. And if they come out and continuously do the exact same thing, then we know this is a coaching culture rather than these guys actually trying to be coached. So it's like I want to see the next game like you, K Style, done stated again and trying to do the same thing. Uh, but if everybody knows, look, everybody thought, oh Mike, you were wrong. Yeah, I was wrong about right. I never had any doubt about him because he's always been a good coach. I thought we was gonna continue. He was gonna be the head coach for the Falcons. I thought he would come out and run the same Dan Quinn stuff, and he didn't do that. So as far as Ryan being not the guy, he is that guy because now we got a defense. Grady Jarrett got almost had 2 sacks today coming from an ACL. Bro, we good. Okay? Judon, those guys was eating today. Do y'all hear me, bro?
I
Our
saw the nose swipe. I seen the nose swipe.
Yeah, like, what are we talking about, bro? Those boys will eat. We just got to look. The offense is going to come. Offense is always the last thing in the doing in the beginning of the season to come on. The Falcons will be okay. So Look, I appreciate everybody for joining us. This is a long week, y'all. I might even throw another recap of the game, out later on after we finish with the AFN pre post game show. So if Jude, Dunn, K Styles, y'all have nothing else to say, man, we truly appreciate it. I love everybody for showing us some love, man. The season is here. Frustrating, but it's all I got to say. What you got, man?
Yeah, like I said, man. Hey, I ain't got no panic over here. Like I said, it's week one. Like I said, you don't win all of them. I think a lot of people are more upset that we thought we was gonna get the ha 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 moment on Arthur Smith and it didn't happen.
It didn't, right?
So hey, like you said, you have to play complementary football, all three phases, all aspects of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we go. Like you said, we can't have penalties. We can't have turnovers. Like you said, Kirk Cousins is a guy who has experience, regardless of the turnover that we had here today, that he's had today. Like you said, as a guy who is a veteran, you definitely have to put that shit behind you and just go in the next week with a clean slate and play some clean football.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Okay. All right. So that being said, man, again, y'all, it's gonna be all season long, right? Here on Six Man Out and Mike, you talking about it. Truly appreciate it. Like I said, man, this is a long we'll guys, time, patience with them. I know everybody want to. I know everybody want to win. Nobody like losing.